The world's a dangerous place. Get the industry's original and most trusted laser sighting system from Crimson Trace. A laser and light systems will enhance your effectiveness and help keep you and your family out of harm's way.
Lock and load. It's time to load up on some intellectual ammunition with Tom Gresham's Gun Talk. It doesn't matter if you learn to shoot with Daniel Boone or you're brand new. You're welcome here. This is the original national talk show about guns, and Tom Gresham is your guide through the maze of ballistics and politics. So grab your phone and call in right now, 866-825-5486, or just dial 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Now, here's Tom.
Hey, welcome back to Gun Talk. One of the unsung heroes, really a gun that I recommend a lot to people that sometimes I think just doesn't get enough credit, doesn't get enough respect, if you will. The Rodney Dangerfield of guns is the Walther brand. And I know that you know the brand, but you don't really know the brand. So joining us to talk about that right now is Everett Deger from Walther. Hey, Everett, how you doing?
Hey, Tom, how are you doing, sir?
You know, I sometimes think that Walther suffers from too much publicity because everybody knows Walther. That's the James Bond gun, but they still think of it as the James Bond gun, and you are so much more now.
Well, absolutely, and one of the things that has kind of been maybe an Achilles heel of the brand over the last several years is people have just associated with that, and the fact that it might have gotten pigeonholed. You know, James Bond and his P99 or PPK, PPK have been sort of lost in Hollywood, where they've not thought that the brand has really branched out more than.
Well, when you go to the website, you're looking at it, you're going, well, wow, those are like all modern guns. I thought all they made was those old European-style guns. You go, no. You don't know the new Walther.
Yeah, absolutely right.
That's been my message when people are saying, well, I'm looking for a self-defense gun and all, and they go through several of them. And look, there are a lot of great guns out there. I mean, but I said, have you looked at a Walther? And they kind of go, what? I said, it's not so much that I want you to look at it. I want you to go into a store and put your hands on one. Because I got to tell you, when you do that, everything changes, doesn't it?
Well, absolutely. One of the peak performance components of the new Walther line, new meaning in the last several years, is that they have tailored all of their polymer line pistols to truly be an ergonomic extension of your hand. Mm-hmm. And they really stand alone in the categories of frontline firearms and personal protection firearms as something that works directly for the user. I mean, it fits the hand, whether you have small, medium, or large. Some of our models have the interchangeable back straps, of course. And then we have created what we call our high grip surface, which gives you the texture that most people would pay for in aftermarket stippling. And we already provide that with the texture that we create.
So you mean I don't have to take a Dremel tool to it and screw it up?
Exactly, yeah. You don't have to heat up a soldering iron. Some people do that. But
right.
The texture there also helps give you better grip. It helps mitigate the recoil, and then you've got that German quality and reliability that you can depend on as well.
Well, you know, the thing that always gets my attention when I pick it up, because I have kind of short fingers, I don't have big hands like some guys do, is how incredibly thin the grips are on your new generation guns. When you pick it up, you just kind of go, ooh, that feels good.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that has kind of been a crux on even the PPX, which has been one of our actually really top-selling performers, but I think it's, like you say, one of the lesser-known or unsung heroes of our line, is it's probably one of the first pistols that we've developed that has actually been built on the opinions of the consumer. They were looking for something that would be a Walther quality at a lower price point, give them the ergonomics that they're looking for, but not sacrifice on the quality of trigger and the accuracy. Okay. And that's what you can expect in the PPX.
Okay, the PPX. It's available in 9 and 40. It looks like you got all black, then stainless slides, and I'm looking at your website, maybe even one with a threaded barrel.
Yes, that's been something that has also become quite popular in the last several years, with the consumers realizing that they can obtain a suppressor with a simple tack and a little bit of paperwork. They realize that that's something they can get their hands on, and it's become popular.
Oh, yeah.
And so much so that we offer a number of models with a threaded barrel, the PPQ included.
Ah, okay. So we're looking at 16 or 14 rounds, depending on if you got 9 or 40 cal. And I guess the other thing about the PPX, I mean, it's a modern polymer gun. It's got a great feel to it. It's got a really, really good trigger. But the other thing that I guess is maybe, I don't know, you tell me, the selling point is that it really comes in at a good price.
It does. It does. Most places you can get it retail for $3.99, and even in some locations they give it at a little more aggressive price point. But one of the things that we're also pushing right now is our Get It promo. And if you purchase a PPX, you get an extra magazine pouch, and then a quick release holster when you send in the rebate form for free.
Wow. Okay. Mag pouch and a holster?
Absolutely.
That's a heck of a deal. Okay. And a lot of people still think of Walther as being a European company. You're located in Fort Smith, Arkansas. It doesn't get more American than Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Well, exactly. And like some of our foreign competitors, what we've done is we still maintain the manufacturing overseas in Germany, but we also have decided to create a hub in the United States as a testament to what type of dedication we are showing the consumer to giving them the quality that they're looking for with a quicker response time on service, and as well as making sure that they can get the quality that they've always wanted at a quicker time frame. And sometimes in the past, that's been a challenge with a European company because you have that gap of the ocean there. And one of the things that a lot of companies have done is they've done that, and it's going to be better for the consumer all around in the end.
Well, another thing that happens is with you located in the U.S., and I'm just guessing here, okay, but I'm guessing that you're able to provide feedback back to Europe to say, look, this is what the American market is looking for. This is what these people want in guns because, frankly, we have concealed carry. We have defensive use of guns much more so than they do in other markets.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you can see what's been done with Glock as well as Sig Sauer, where they've established themselves as prominent American manufacturers. We're making sure that we can follow suit and make sure that we provide that quick service that the consumers have come to expect, as well as maintaining the integrity of the brand at home.
Okay, I'm poking around on your website here in the middle of all this. And what is the Walther Club?
The Walther Club is where you can register and you can receive updates for special promotions. And then also throughout the year, if you're part of the club, you can receive discounts on select items that come around on holidays such as Labor Day, 4th of July. We're going to have a promotion this year for Black Friday. So by doing that, then you also get a privilege to have that discount. And then also if we do promotions in the future for early releases, you'll be available for that as well.
Cost anything to join?
No, free. Sign up online.
Okay, you just sign up online and you get special offers for discounts.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to figure out why somebody would not do that. That sounds like a home run to me.
Well, exactly. It's no cost to the consumer. Again, we're really trying to become a much more aggressive company when we are actually catering to the consumer directly. All
right. Just for those who don't know, you got to go to WaltherArms.com. I'm looking. You've got 22 380s and multiples of those, PPK, PPX, PPS, P99. It goes on and on, not to mention that you've got a lot of other guns listed on the website. I think it's a shame if people still have you pigeonholed, they're missing out on a lot of really good guns.
Well, and that's going to be my job, Tom, is they brought me on here a number of months ago, and we're going to kind of make people aware that we are not a subsidiary of another company. We are still an independent company, have been for over a century, and are going to become a lot more aggressive with our stance in the United States market. One
of the things I was going to ask you, and this is kind of out of the blue, but for as long as I can remember, Walther has been famous for accuracy and making really good barrels. How do you guys do that? What's involved in making these guns accurate?
Well, obviously some of those secrets are proprietary, but I can tell you that every barrel is hand-fit, hand-manufactured, and for the most part, the process is a button rifling process, which has always delivered really great accuracy, and it also has to do with the methods of hand-fitting and finishing every barrel to the action that it's designed to go with. So a lot of that is just good old-fashioned German engineering and fit and finish.
Okay, attention to detail then.
Absolutely.
All right, so you got the new PPX promo going on. You buy one of those, you get a free magazine, a holster, and a dual mag pouch when you buy a PPX. Pretty cool. All that's available on the website. Information's on the website, I guess.
Absolutely, and you can go into your local dealers and you can pick up a registration form there as well.
Okay, and I just want to emphasize for people, don't take my word for it. Don't take Everett's word for it. I mean, go find the gun, put your hand on it. That's all you're going to have to do. I've been saying this for a long time, Everett, and if you pick one up, everybody says the same thing. They all go, ooh, that's nice.
Yep, you will definitely feel the difference in not only the way the gun looks and handles, but when you shoot it on the range, you'll see the performance as well.
All right, that's WaltherArms.com. Thanks, Everett. I sure appreciate that. All right, Gun Talk will be right back.
One machine, one operator. Each machine is run by a single pair of hands. Hands that spend all day, every day, learning the machine inside and out. We don't believe in quotas. The point is crafting faultless ammunition, no matter how long that takes. It's not quick or easy. Being the best never is. Black Hills Ammunition. It started with our hands.
You know the name Walther is a legendary brand, but do you know the new Walther? The new Walther has introduced 3 new precision handguns. The smooth PPQ M2 is a breakthrough in ergonomics and trigger pull. The tough PPX is a workhorse at a value price. The cool, iconic PPK S22 blends classic PPK with the fun of the economical 22 LR. There is a lot going on at the new Walther. Visit us at WaltherArms.com. Walther, at your favorite retailer.
Hi, I'm Michael Bain. You know I hate cleaning guns, so anything that makes that job faster and easier is definitely a plus. And that's where Board Tips come in. These reusable, lint-free cleaning swabs make cleaning a breeze. And the tighter-fitting Board Tips do a better job on barrels than cotton mops or patches. Hey, it's a dirty job. Let Board Tips help. To find a dealer, visit BoardTips.com.
The .45 Auto, also known as the 1911, is the standard other defensive pistols are measured against. No matter what pistol you carry, techniques developed around the 1911 are vital. You know you need training, and you know your concealed carry class definitely was not training. Now Gun Talk presents an exciting DVD, Fighting with the 1911 with Tiger McKee. Tiger's unique training style will have you drawing, moving, shooting, and running your gun better, no matter what style pistol you prefer. At ShopGunTalk.com, you can order our DVDs of Tiger's instruction. ShopGunTalk.com also has a 2-DVD set, including Concealed Carry 1. Get both for the information you know you need. This really is life and death. ShopGunTalk.com has DVDs, books, and other essential gear. ShopGunTalk.com. That's ShopGunTalk.com.
You already know Liberty safes are great values. Now they're offering an even sweeter deal for Gun Talk listeners. At LibertySafe.com, click on the Fat Boy safe and type in Tom. Liberty will give you up to $250 off your purchase. Protect the things you value most. LibertySafe.com, click the Fat Boy safe, promo code TOM, save up to $250. That's LibertySafe.com. LibertySafe.com.
To disarm the people is the most effectual way to enslave them. If George Mason were alive today, he'd be listening to Gun Talk. Now, back to Tom.
All right, back with you, Tom Gresham, 866-TALK-GUN, 866-825-5486. I appear to have irritated a few people on Twitter when I put out a message a few days ago. You may have seen the new commercial that NRA put out. It's basically it's a little video, 30-second commercial about Michael Bloomberg. Basically takes him on. In fact, I'll find it. I'll play it for you in just a second. He in this commercial, it talks about Bloomberg and his assault on gun rights. But the first word of the commercial is the word liberals. It starts off, liberals think this is flyover country. And I got an email from a Gun Talk listener. He said, he says, I'm a liberal, and I'm a gun guy. He said, they could have used the word elitist. They could have used a number of other words. It reminded me, I have been saying for more than 10 years. In fact, I kind of got the same stunned silence from an audience at the Gun Rights Policy Conference more than 10 years ago when I said, you guys have to stop using the word liberal. You have to stop trying to say liberals this, liberals that. And you'll notice that I don't do that here. And they looked at me like, as a friend of mine says, like a frog looking at a wristwatch, going, what? I guess here's the question for you. And look, there's nothing as comforting as a closely held prejudice. So I know it's hard to give up your prejudice when you love to say those liberals, those liberals, those liberals. But here's the question for you. Can we afford to give away 10% or 20% of people who would support us simply because we want to call them names? Yes. Take whatever you want to call them, Democrats, liberals, whatever. I am sure that at least 10% and maybe 20%, maybe 30% of them are gun owners and gun rights supporters. And you're going, no, if they're liberals, they would be anti-gun. No, they wouldn't, actually. And I've had them come up to me and say, Tom, I'm all into gun rights and all, but man, you guys make me feel uncomfortable. And I always say, I don't care what your views are on any other issue. I don't care. Well, what do you think about their... No. I don't care. All I care about is, will you help me on gun rights? And so when we start using words like, well, those liberals, well, if you're a liberal and you like being a liberal, but you also support gun rights, and believe me, there are a lot of them, you don't feel comfortable here. So my question for you is, and I had some people on Twitter say, well, you just, basically you just don't get it because if they're liberal, they are by definition anti-gun. And going, no, that's not true. Because I know a bunch of people who are self-described liberals, and they get offended by that. They get offended. And I'm just thinking, from the standpoint of the NRA, was that a smart move? Was it a fundraising move? Is it smart to alienate people who would otherwise support you? I don't know. I'd love to get your take on that. 866-TALK-GUN. Let's go to line 2, where Paris is in Shreveport. Paris, what you saw the story about the Maryland judge, huh?
Yeah, Maryland judge determined that AR-15s aren't guaranteed under the Second Amendment. Yeah.
Judge said that, under Heller, these are unusual. These are not in common use, and they are exceptionally deadly. I'm going, well, wait a minute. Wait. If they're not in common use, how is it that there are millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of them have been sold and are being used by law-abiding citizens? Now, obviously, this is going to get appealed. But this just gives you an idea how clueless some people and some judges are to say that the AR-15 is not in common use. Because the thing is, according to the Supreme Court, if it's in common use, then individuals have a right to own it.
Yeah, I've got several myself.
Well, of course, what was going on was you got a judge who simply wants to ban ARs. He wants to support a ban on ARs, on semi-autos. And the only way he can do that is to make an stupidly insane, idiotic ruling. If he can say, look, these are unusual, they're not in common use, then he finds his justification for his ruling. So he can do that, but it doesn't make it true. It just makes it appeal-worthy, I guess. So it'll be appeal. We'll go on with that. But, yeah, it's a great point. I appreciate you bringing it up, that the things that we know to be true, that we absolutely know are true, not that we believe, that we know to be true, which is like AR-15s are a very common rifle. They're used in competition. They're used in hunting. They're used for home defense. They're used for whatever, for just fun shooting. Millions of people own them. We know this all to be fact, it's simply fact. And the judge is declaring it to be not a fact. So that's the kind of thing we're up against these days. Thanks, Paris. Appreciate that call. Brian is on line 1 out of Salt Lake City. Hey, Brian, what about the 450 SMC? Talk to me about this thing.
Yeah, the other day, I guess it was a couple weeks ago, you talked about shooting 450 SMC in a 1911.
Correct.
Which appealed to me because then it means you don't have to switch out to revolver for backcountry. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But my thoughts were, do I need to switch out my springs in a 1911, or does it matter which 1911 I shoot it in, like if it's aluminum or steel? I was going to see what you thought.
Okay, if it were me, I would put a heavy recoil spring in my 1911 if I were going to shoot 450 SMC. But here's the thing, you're not going to shoot a lot of them. You're going to load it up, you're going to shoot one magazine's worth, say, yep, it works in my gun, and then you're going to carry them for bear protection or mountain lion protection or whatever. Nobody I know is going to shoot a lot of 450 SMC because it's like shooting a 10 millimeter. It really kicks. It's a powerful cartridge, but you can shoot it in your 45 ACP. But yeah, I would want to put, first of all, a lot of us, guilty here, have not replaced our recoil springs in our 1911s. And after a few thousand rounds, you need to replace them. I mean, it's all of like, what is it, $7 for a recoil spring, something like that? It's not much. What kind of gun are you shooting, Brian?
Well, this would probably most likely be like a 6-hour Scorpion.
Now, is that, refresh my memory, is that aluminum or steel?
That one's steel.
That's steel. See, I think with
fun one with a threaded barrel.
I think with a steel frame and I can't remember offhand, it was a 22-pound. It's the heavy-duty spring. I think you are good to go, and I would shoot it and not worry about it. I would not want a steady diet of it in an alloy frame gun, possibly with the exception of the Smith & Wesson Scandium, because Scandium is awfully tough. But the other thing is, it's just got a kick like a son of a gun if you shoot this in a lightweight gun. This is not a load you want to be shooting in a lightweight gun. And I've kind of gotten to where, it's funny, I like carrying alloy frame 1911s, but when it comes to shooting, I like all steel, like heavier guns. So I would say contact Double Tap Ammo, doubletapammo.com. Get a box of their 450 SMC. Go ahead and put the heavy-duty spring in your gun and go out and shoot it. First of all, you got to make sure that they will feed in your gun because you've got hard cast bullets. They should, but you never assume on this stuff. Make sure they'll feed, and then see how you like it. And then if you say, yeah, I like it, I'll buy another box or two. You're probably not, as I say, you're probably not going to shoot a lot of them, but it's fairly interesting to have what is, in essence, a 10-millimeter load without changing a barrel out, shooting it in your 45 ACP. If you don't know what we're talking about, you can go to doubletapammo.com and look up the 450 SMC. Pretty interesting. 866-TALK-GUN. Give me a range report. What are you seeing out there?
One of Talker Magazine's 100 most important radio talk show hosts in America. You're listening to Gun Talk, heard every week at this time on great radio stations across America. Stay tuned. Gun Talk is coming right back. Covering all aspects of gun ownership every week on this fine radio station. You're listening to Gun Talk with Tom Gresham.
All right, 866-TALK-GUN will get you in here. That's pretty easy. Or you can shoot me an email, tom@guntalk.com. Over on Twitter, I'm at Gun Talk. A lot of things going on. By the way, if you don't have it, you can get the Gun Talk app for your smartphone. That way it'll download the show and you can listen to it wherever you want to go. I mean, clearly you can get it off of, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, a lot of other ways. There's just a lot of ways to get Gun Talk, so there you go. Again, 866-TALK-GUN. Want to get line 4 in here. Rick is out of Little Rock, Arkansas. Hey, Rick, thanks for calling.
Yeah, my pleasure. Hey, 100% you're right about the liberals. I'm black, I'm a liberal, and I love my 6-hour guns. But
wait. Are you sure that you're liberal, and are you sure that you're black? That's what I want to know.
Well, I'm positive in both aspects. Staunch liberal. But a common sense liberal, though. Like I said, I love my guns, and I agree. I don't know what my thoughts on abortion have to do with the gun. Are you going to help me be able to further my Second Amendment rights? I think to dump a liberal in there every chance you get, I think that's just for effect. I think it's silly. It has nothing to do with the issue.
Well, as a gun owner, as a gun rights guy, how does it hit you when you hear gun rights people, maybe even the NRA, saying, well, those liberals?
Well, me personally, I was a big fan of Charlton Heston, and I've just never been a big fan of Wayne LaPierre, and I'm just not a big NRA guy. But, I'll hear other people talking and saying, liberals and guns and, open carry, those people don't want us because they're liberal. That's just not true. And a lot of times you'll have liberal people, running their mouth about gun owners too. It's like both sides.
It goes both ways. Well, and part of it, don't you think part of it is that they're not talking to each other? It's like when I get together with people, you start finding out, we agree on some things and we disagree on others. I've got a friend. Let me just tell you, I got a good friend. And this guy is, pick the most liberal guy you know, and this guy makes him look like Ron Paul. I mean, this guy is so liberal, it's unbelievable. And we talk about airplanes, we talk about other stuff, and he started going in on politics one time, and I just said, Rick, stop. As it works out, his name is Rick also. He said, what? I said, here's the deal. We know what we can talk about, and if we go down this path, we're going to have a falling out. So let's just understand that we have a lot of things in common, and that we have some other things that we don't have in common. And we just have to understand that. Don't you think, Rick, that that's kind of where most people are? We got some things in common, but not everything?
Well, I do. I agree with that. But I'll also say I think there are a lot of people out there that, and on both sides, that just don't want to hear, what the other side has to say in terms of, hey, we have this in common. Well, no, we disagree on this one thing, so there's no way we could ever have anything else in common,
Yeah.
That's how some of these people think. That's just what has been my experience.
And you're, okay, when you're talking to somebody and they say, well, look, and I know you get this, and they say, how can you be a liberal and support gun rights? What do you tell them?
Well, to be honest, I don't get that much. But I'll just tell you, I mean, if I were to get that, I just tell them one has nothing to do with the other. I like my guns, and I want my guns, and I'm going to carry my guns regardless of what side of the fence I'm on. I mean, it has nothing to do with the other one because, we're guaranteed this right, by the Second Amendment. So, it's not like it's up for debate or something, But,
well said.
I mean, it's it just to me it just doesn't it's not one of those abortion or some economic policy that's not guaranteed. But being able to exercise your Second Amendment right, that is by birth, that is guaranteed. So it's not like you can debate it away or something. That's just my opinion on it.
Well, I think you're exactly right. Listen, I appreciate it. I tell you, and thank you for calling. I appreciate it. And hey, look, keep talking it up and keep letting people know. And and thank you, Rick. Appreciate it. Here's my question to everybody. I mean, you heard Rick. Oh my cow! Is this guy got it figured out? Well, this is a right. Would you want to lose his support just so that you can, I don't know what, feel better about yammering about liberals and conservatives? No, you know what? I don't want to force anybody to admit that I'm right. That's not what I'm about. I just want to win. I want to win every time we get a chance on gun rights. And we can't afford to give up the 10, 20, 30% of whatever it is of people who we disagree with on other issues, but they're on our side. We're all on the same side on guns. I don't know. I know some people disagree with me on that. If you do, call me. Let me know what you're thinking. 866-TALK-GUN. 866-TALK-GUN.
In the field or on the range, you need a trigger you can trust. For over 60 years, Timney triggers have been trusted by hunters and shooters everywhere. A Timney trigger could mean the difference between a great shot and a miss. Timney triggers are proudly made in the USA and come with a lifetime warranty. To order, go to TimneyTriggers.com. That's TIMNEY Triggers.com.
Crossbreed Holsters is broadening our product selection to serve more of your concealed carry needs. With products handmade in the USA, like the bedside backup, gun belts, and of course our world-famous Super Tuck and Mini Tuck holsters, we understand what works, and we take pride in providing you with a quality product. At Crossbreed Holsters, we live and breathe concealed carry. We make and sell products that we believe in and products that our customers love. To see more, go to crossbreedholsters.com. That's crossbreedholsters.com.
Everyone talks about heroes, people who do amazing things in extraordinary situations. Well, I'm no hero. I'm just a guy who wants to protect his family, to keep them safe the best I can. It's my duty as a husband, as a father, and I won't ever let them down.
Introducing the Carry-On series from Taurus, the ultimate collection of concealed carry firearms designed for discreet, reliable personal protection. Visit TaurusUSA.com to learn more.
Carry on.
Hey everyone, I'm Doug Koenig, winner of more than 60 national and world shooting championships. You know what? I'm here to tell you that the only thing I like better than competitive matches with high-powered pistols and better than hunting big white-tailed deer is watching NRA Freedom Friday presented by Cheaper Than Dirt on the Pursuit Channel. It's true what they say. Pursuit Channel delivers the outdoors.
TopGunSupply.com carries a large selection of fine firearms and accessories. Get all the parts you need for your Sig Sauer, HK, and Glock pistols. Grips, screws, recoil springs, sights, barrels, magazines, holsters. The list goes on. Our knowledgeable sales staff, professional service, great prices, and super fast shipping are here to help you. Check us out today. TopGunSupply.com. TopGunSupply.com.
Never miss a minute of Gun Talk. If you can't be here for the live broadcast, download the Gun Talk app for your smartphone to catch up on older episodes or to listen when it's convenient for you. Now, more Gun Talk.
All right, back with you. While he's on a break from work, let's get Bill on here on line 3 out of Liberty Mo. Hey, Bill, how are you?
Hey, Tom, thanks for taking my call. I was at a gun store last week, and they talked me into buying something called fluid film, and it's supposed to keep rust off your guns for a long time. Would you know about that, or would one of your listeners would know about it?
I had not heard of it, but I looked it up when I saw this pop up on my screen, and it looked like they had it at Granger and other places. It's not a gun-specific product. It's just a rust preventive product. Let me ask, have you put it on your guns yet?
No, that's what I was calling about. I thought I'd check with you first. I think it's supposed to be a lanolin-based product, and it's been around since the 40s.
Well, I don't think it's going to hurt anything. My only concern would be I'd want to see how thick it is. I mean, if this is... Because there are different rust preventive products. Some are very lightweight, and some are pretty heavy, greasy, almost waxy. And I don't think I would want that waxy buildup on my gun. But if it's something... You know what I would probably do? Try putting it on a cloth, not on your gun, and then rub the cloth on your gun. Because generally, I don't like to spray anything on my guns. I like to put it on a cloth and then rub the gun with it. But I think you're probably going to be fine using it. I don't think there's an issue. There are so many good products out there. I tend to like to use the ones that are made specifically for firearms because I figure that somebody has tested it for that somewhere. But at the same time, and I guess this is where it's kind of interesting because I know where Liberty, Missouri is, and I know how hot and humid it gets there. It's honestly no different from living on the Gulf Coast down here. I know. I went to Mizzou a million years ago. You got to check your guns regularly. If you've got guns in storage, whether they're in a safe or someplace, every 3-4 months, pull them out, check them, make sure you're not getting any rust, wipe them down again. If you're in a hot and humid area, you just got to do that. So, but I would say, I tell you, do me a favor. After you've had a chance to use fluid film, give us a call back, Bill, and let us know how it works. Okay?
Okay, I'll do that. Thanks a lot, Tom.
I appreciate that. I was talking about this commercial from the NRA where they start off saying liberal, And I've gotten comments from several liberal gun owners, self-described liberals, who say, I'm a gun owner, I'm a gun rights guy, like our caller Rick from Little Rock. Let me just play the spot for you so you can hear it and kind of see what you think. Here we go. And you notice that the very first word is liberal, so I don't want you to miss that.
Liberals call this flyover country. It's an insult. But nobody insults your life like this guy, Michael Bloomberg, billionaire, elitist, hypocrite. Bloomberg tries to ban your snack foods, your soda, and most of all, your guns. Bloomberg said the largest county in Colorado is as far rural as you can get. I don't think there's roads there. That's what he thinks of your state, too. Hey, Bloomberg, keep your politics in New York, and keep your hands off our guns and our freedom.
You know, honestly, I kind of like the commercial. It's very well done. Just did it need to do that? Did it need to do that? Line 1, Jim's with us out of Nebraska. Hey, Jim, what do you think?
Yeah, good afternoon. Liberals, the 10% that you say are gun owners, do you really believe that they are ever going to be NRA members or Second Amendment Foundation members, the same as I am never going to be a AARP member, because I know that my money would go to support things I didn't approve of, the same as...
wait, let me stop, because you asked me a question. Let me answer the question. Yes, they are going to be members of the NRA, and they are. And yes, they are going to be members of the Second Amendment Foundation, and they are. And here's why. Because those groups are not actively supporting things that are against their beliefs. They are simply gun groups. So these are liberals who are very strong Second Amendment supporters, and they do belong to the NRA, and they do belong to the Second Amendment Foundation, and they do go to the Gun Rights Policy Conference, and they do come up to me and say, why do people do this? And they are also the members of the Pink Pistols, the National Gay, Lesbian, Transgender Shooters, who have NRA certified instructors among their ranks, and they give shooting lessons. So to your question, yes, they will belong to the NRA. They do belong to the NRA.
A true liberal, I can't, because the NRA will give money to candidates and support candidates that won't have anything to do with gay rights, won't have anything to do with what I want to say, choice, won't have anything to do with liberal causes. So why would they, the same as I, would not give money to an organization like the AARP that gives their money to the Democrats? Why would they support? I just don't believe they would if they're a true liberal.
Jim, what you're doing is you're projecting. You're saying I wouldn't, so they wouldn't. That makes no sense at all. Just because you wouldn't doesn't mean that they would. You're seeing them through.
And support abortion, and I'm not saying how can you be a liberal, support abortion, give money to the NRA, and know that the NRA gives money to candidates?
Because you can. Because you do. Just because you don't doesn't mean someone else doesn't. Or does. I mean, look, here's my problem. And here's what I'm trying to get you to understand. You just got to stop for just a second and listen to me. Your view of a liberal is flawed. You are listening to Rush, you're listening to Hannity, you're listening to O'Reilly, and you got to turn that junk off, and you got to think for yourself and say, can this person help me win? That's it. That's all. That's all there is. Can this group help us win on gun rights? If they can, I don't care if they support having sex with purple people eaters from other countries or other alien worlds. I don't care. I don't care. Well, what do they think about abortion? I don't care. What do they think about gay rights? I don't care. I don't care. I just want to win on gun rights. And I will work with any group that will help me. That's why I'm a member of the ACLU. Do I agree with everything they do? I don't agree with much of what they do. But they are really good on gun rights sometimes. And when they are, they really help us win. Will I look the other way on the other stuff? You betcha. I'll even fight them on the other stuff. But I'll take help from any corner I can get it, because I am about winning when it comes to gun rights.
Gun Talk stands for safety, personal responsibility, and common courtesy. To be a part of the show, call 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Gun Talk will be right back.
All right, back with you. Let's go talk about guns for just a second, and then we'll get back to the politics. Line 2, Paul's with us out of Palmer, Alaska. Hey, Paul, thanks for your patience.
Hey, Tom. Hey, thanks for taking my call. Hey, what's happening with the 17 Super Mag? Is it going to go the way of the 5mm? I'm not seeing much in terms of gun production other than one manufacturer.
The 17 Super Mag, of course, from Winchester. The problem, I think now, because I don't have any inside information, is simply that people are buying it up. And some are hoarding it, but a lot of folks are buying it and flipping it and selling it on Gunbroker. There's just not enough out there yet. The demand, I think, has exceeded their anticipated supply. I just don't think they're making enough of it. As far as when it's going to be available, I don't know. I mean, Midways and Brownells are showing out of stock. You can put it on a list, notify me by email when it's available, that type of thing. Honestly, I don't know. I tell you what, I'm going to be talking with the Winchester Ammo guys, probably this week. I will inquire and find out some more information on the 17 Super Mag and see what I can find out. Do you have one of the rifles?
No, that's actually what I'm really curious about. Is Ruger gonna make a gun for it?
Haven't heard. I don't have any inside info, and Ruger is very secretive about stuff. Well, they have to be because they're publicly traded, so they can't just let information leak out. So I have not heard anything about Ruger doing a 17 Super Mag. If I were them, I would be concerned about bringing out a rifle that ammo's hard to get, because I think that would really hurt the sales of the rifle.
Yeah, I saw that Savage jumped in the game right away, and I was hoping that this year, Ruger or some other manufacturer would come out with to give us some options. But I'm not seeing anything, so I was just hoping that it's not already going that way.
I don't think so. What we really need is for one or two other ammo makers to pick it up. The problem is it's rimfire, and there are only three companies making rimfire ammo. And it would just cost. You can't just set up and start making rimfire ammo. It's very expensive. So anyway, whatever I find out, I'll put it out there for everybody. So I appreciate that. Let's see. Joe's on line 2 out of Grand Rapids. Joe, I have squeezed you against a break, so you got about a minute, so go for it, man. Oh, nobody's on. Did I say 2? I meant 3. Line 3. And Joe's on 3.
Yeah, the whole liberal conservative thing is this. I am a conservative, but a politician can be right on every issue. If he's wrong on the Second Amendment, I'm not voting for him. And I know people who are Democrats, they love to hunt, they love to shoot, yet election time, they're going to go pull the ballot for somebody who's wants to take away their rights. And people need to realize they would take away every gun we have if they could. They could get away with it, and that's why...
Who would?
The liberals in this country, the leftists. Well,
obviously not all liberals, because we just had a guy call in who is a liberal, and I know a lot of people who are liberals, and they're not going to take away your guns. They have guns, and they support the Second Amendment. So let's be more precise when we say who. I understand what you're saying, but my point here is we use these labels to our disadvantage. So when you say they or the liberals want to take away our gun rights, I say, no, it's anti-gun people. And look, there are a bunch of conservative anti-gun people out there. Oh, did Tom really say that? Yes, I did. There are Republicans who are anti-gun. There are. They get in and they vote that way. Now, does it mean I'm going to vote for a liberal Democrat? No, it doesn't. But what I'm saying is, when in our messaging, and you know how much I'm all about the messaging, because that's what shapes public opinion. Public opinion shapes the laws. In our messaging, let's take better aim. Let's aim more carefully. Let's not scattershot. Let's not blast a whole group of people where we have some of our own in there. We can afford the collateral damage. We can't afford to lose the support we have. Of course, you may disagree. If so, 866-TALK-GUN.
No black helicopters here, just the facts about gun rights and gun ownership. This is Gun Talk.